Hello, you. I welcome you to the stream of consciousness, and I want to encourage you to shine on in your own individual color. Yes, I have arrived in my forest office, and today I want to talk about waking up. And yeah, basically we all wake up in this world the first time, probably when we are born, and we grow into the world, and the world also grows on us. We acquire certain skills and abilities, we learn, and by this we conquer the world more and more. And we will get a set of skills from our parents, from the abilities that are given to us, which are in our DNA, from our ancestors. We will go to kindergarten, we will go to school, we will have a social network around us, people who teach us things. And by this we gain a certain set of skills. But it is individual for every person, and it is limited. Thus, our growth is limited too. And in my case, in my experience, the way I took on life, I learned as much as I can. I educated myself. When I learned to read, I started to read books, and I dove into philosophy. And still, the knowledge you have is always limited. You know, a wise man once said, I know that I know nothing. So the more you learn, the more you find out that you actually know nothing. The more answers you get, the more questions arise. So, again, this means that at some point you reach limits of growth. And in my experience, the way I did it, I stumbled into life, in my life, you know. And naturally, I reached the limits of my growth. But it's like you are born into an egg, and at some point you will reach the shell of the egg from the inside, but you don't know that it is the end of your growth. And also there will the more you grow, the more people will follow you, being part of your life. It can be friends, families, it is the people you work with, your boss if you are employed, and you will have relationships with all people around you. It's not possible to live with a person and have no relationship. This is a misconception. Any person in your life, you have a relationship. So your knowledge also, and the set of skills you have, it determines the relationships you have. So back in the days when we had our tribe and certain rituals, we got a more complete set of skills on our way. You know, that we were connected when we were living in an ancient tribal society. We were connected with our ancestors better. We had wise people to learn from. There was respect. You had initiation rites, so you learned the dangers you will face and all these stuffs. Today we have, again, a different system, and often dysfunctional families, and you do not learn everything at school that is necessary for survival. So, we reach the limits of our possibilities, and we have certain kinds of relationships. And then we get more and more stuck in some point of our life. And then waking up from this means you unlock all necessary seals in order to hatch out of this eggshell. And it can be, in most cases, pain. You go through pain, through abuse, but you have not realized that it is this way. You designed your life, you did your best, but you feel that at some point it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and harder. Your boss is not really giving you what you deserve. Your family might be dysfunctional, but again, you will not perceive it that way as long as you're in that matrix. But the more the pain grows, it will be a teacher for you. And you then might at some point get a certain information that suddenly helps you to put together a lot of puzzle parts, and this will enable you to hatch out of this eggshell, and everything will change. You will completely, inside and outside, will change you, because the result of this is that you will abandon your former life, and you will relabel everyone you know and everything you perceive. It feels like being newborn and having to relearn, to find a new place. You reach like ground zero. You will be in isolation for some time. And you see, right here there are several trees, oaks, and how are they called? Anyway, they have grown other plants on them, and this is like the relationships you have. You go into social contact, you will have family around you, friends, and if you not learn properly how to put on boundaries, because in a dysfunctional family unit you will not learn how to make boundaries. Your father, your mother will not be able to teach it to you the right way. Everybody says you have to share, you have always to be kind, and we are strongly influenced by the idea of Jesus, which is actually, I don't even want to label it as good, because this is the biggest trick the devil ever pulled, is to say there is good or bad and black and white. No, I told you in the beginning, everybody has his own color, his own ways. And the thing is, it is okay and necessary to be social and share and be kind, and Jesus is a huge idea of how you should live. But his destiny was he was crucified. And so what I want to say is, you also need to learn to protect yourself, to make boundaries, to say no. If you want to find out the true face of a person, say no to the person. Okay? Try this. Right here. I told you I have oaks here, and they are in a relationship with other plants. Check this out if you can see this, So in the beginning, it might be like, hey, we're friends, we're growing together, but at some point the oak might realize, oh, they are taking my light, they are holding me back. And it's the same with let's say a giant fish that swims through the ocean. There will be following other fish, and they will stick to him, hold themselves onto him, so taking his energy, his protection, and they will also hold him back. And this way, it is the same with your relationships. If you not learn how to make boundaries, how to make decisions for yourself in the first place, you always have to save yourself first, and then you can save others. Then you will end up in this, as I said, inside the eggshell, because you cannot get out, you have a limited growth, and you have people holding you back. Then you get a certain point. It can be that the abuse gets too much. You feel, I'm held back. It gets worse and worse. You forget who you really have been, because you, at the same time that people taking energy from you, you give up more and more of the things that actually supplied you with energy. You say, okay, I stop doing my martial art, I stop doing my archery, I stop doing my music, whatever you did, whatever gave you the energy, the positive vibration, your color, it made you shine, And then at some point it gets too much, and this is what we call an awakening. You push the people back, you say, stop, it's enough, okay? But this is a little bit a dangerous moment too, because the moment parasites know that you know, they are not anymore interested in your well-being, and then you have to protect yourself, and you will be in isolation, and you will be alone. You will reach this ground zero where you have to start new. And there is certain things that can help you. And for me, the information that helped me put together a lot of puzzle parts at once, suddenly, you can put it all together, and some people call it going supernova, when you push back the people abusing you, that holding you back from becoming the so-called best version of yourself. The information for me was to find out what narcissistic personality disorder is, because it helped me to understand the family structure I grew into, and the people that talk to me and say we, and they often start a sentence with what is the best for you, and this, what they say is good for you, will be bad for you. And it suddenly everything made sense to me. I understood everything better that was confusing before, and at that point you cannot go on, and you also stop every other kind of bad compromise that you made in your life. Your job, you cannot return to your job at that point. You again, you will gravitate towards that ground zero and rebuild your life. And in my channel, I want to help you to do this, and there will be a lot of content come in the future. So I wish the best for you. Shine on, you crazy diamond, and see you soon.